Hello friends, this is Aarti Karnuke, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department at Tulsiramji Gaikwad Patil College of Engineering and Technology, accredited with NAC A+ grade. I welcome you all in the next lecture of Pavement Analysis and Design. So in this class we are going to discuss about the numerical on equivalent single wheel load. So before starting the numerical of equivalent single wheel load, we have to discuss some theory regarding equivalent single wheel load assembly. So let's start. So as we know, while designing the load on the pavement, there are many characteristics we have to consider. So like vehicular characteristics, after that the vehicle dimension, then type of road transport vehicle, weight of the loaded vehicle, then power of the vehicle, then speed of the vehicle, then braking characteristics. All are the required parameters which is necessary while designing the loads. So in that lecture we are going to discuss about the tire loads, axle and tire configuration, load repetition, traffic distribution and vehicle speed. So very first term is equivalent single wheel load assembly. So basically in that case, in the order to limit the maximum load on the single wheel within the specified limit and to carry greater load, it is necessary to provide dual wheel assembly on the rear axis of heavy road vehicle. So basically in equivalent single wheel load assembly of a dual wheel load assembly at the depth, we have to consider at depth, like, and we have to denote it by a Z. So equivalent single wheel load assembly of a dual wheel load assembly at a depth may be called as the single wheel load. So in that case, it converts the wheel loads of various magnitude and repetition, that means mixed traffic, to an equivalent number of standard or equivalent loads, and it is also based on the amount of damage they do to the pavement. As we know that the total weight of a vehicle is carried by its axle, the load on the axle is transferred to the wheels, and this load is ultimately transferred onto the surface of the pavement in contact with the tires. To keep vehicle load induced stresses on pavement within the allowable limits, the total vehicle load is distributed onto wider areas of pavement by using more axles and wheels. This is the reason why more number of axles and wheels are fitted to heavy load carrying trucks, like you can see in this figure also. So of course different types of configuration can be carried by different heavier loads, as you can see. So generally the load carried by any one truck is not the same as that carried by an axle. Each axle load will impart a certain amount of damage or distress on the pavement. The degree of distress caused by the different loads of axle will increase as the magnitude of the load and the repetition increase. Under mixed traffic condition, repetition of a different axle having a different loads playing on the road will not indicate by any meaningful value related to how much damage has been caused to the pavement due to their combined action. So different axle load will cause a different degree of damage. Therefore it is customary to convert repetition of axle having a different loads to an equivalent standard axle load. So in this figure you can see the figure shows end view of dual wheel load assembly. This figure is also illustrate the stress overlaps on a single layer due to the dual wheel. So let the spacing between center of the two wheel will be denoted by S, and clear gap between the inner sides of the wheel is denoted by D, as you can see in this figure. So in the order to simplify the analysis, the load dispersion is assumed to be at the angle of 45 degree, at the angle of 45 degree. So up to the depth d by z, each load acts independently. At depths greater than d by 2, the compressive stresses within the pavement due to each load begins to overlap. So at the depth we have to consider twice of the spacing above, and the overlap area of the compressive stress is considerable high when compared to the total area overlap due to the dual wheel loads. Therefore the total stresses due to the dual wheel at any depth greater than twice of the spacing or ESW is considered to the equivalent to the magnitude of twice of P, that is twice of load. So in order to simplify determination of stresses due to dual wheel load at any desired depth, or to carry out pavement design, the equivalent single wheel load value is often made use of. So the ESWR is usually determined by the equivalent stress criteria using a single graphical method, of course. So of course this is the different axle and wheel configuration. As you can see in this figure also, different axle with different wheel configuration. So in this figure, generally the load carried by any one truck is not the same as that carried by an axle. Each axle load will impart a certain amount of damage, as we already discussed on the previous slide. So this is the single axle with dual wheel carrying a load of 80 kilonewton 8 ton is defined as the standard axle. So now we are going to discuss one numerical which is based on the equivalent single axle load. So let's go. So we conclude here our today's numerical which is based on equivalent single wheel load assembly. Thank you.
Good afternoon friends, this is Aarti Garnuke, Assistant Professor in Tulsiramji Gaikwad Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur, accredited with NAC A+ grade. I welcome you all in the next lecture of pavement analysis and design. So I earlier discussed theory about this topic. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the numerical based on the equivalent single load assembly. So basically in this topic we are going to deal with the two types of numerical. First is the dual wheel load assembly and another one is the dual in tandem wheel load assembly. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the dual wheel load assembly. So first we will discuss about the formulas and we will go for the numerical. Okay. So we will discuss formulas for dual wheel load assembly. So the very first formula is we have to calculate load on each wheel. So the formula is gear load divided by 2. Then the next formula is area of contact denoted by capital A. So the formula is load on each wheel, that is P divided by 2. Then in step number 5 there is two cases. So first we will discuss first case. So when the tire pressure is less than 7 kg per centimeter square, so in that case wheel section is circular. So if the wheel section is circular, then the radius of contact, that is small a for circular, so it is area is equal to pi into a square. After that the fourth step is center to center spacing between dual wheels denoted by capital S. It is D, that is the distance between two wheels plus twice of A. Then the fifth step is plotting the graph for coordinate A, that is D by 2 and P, and for coordinate P, that is twice of S and twice of P. So in the second case, so in the next case, when the tire pressure is greater than 7 kg per centimeter square, so in that case wheel section is elliptical. So the radius of contact for elliptical section is equal to 0.523 L square. So the next step is we have to find out the minor axis of ellipse. So the formula for minor axis of ellipse is equal to 0.6 into L. Then we have to calculate center to center spacing between dual wheel, that is D plus B. D is is the distance between two wheels, and B is the minor axis of ellipse. After that, the sixth step is plotting the graph. So for coordinate A, it is D by 2 and P, and for coordinate B, it is 2S and 2P. So we will discuss numerical now. So now we are discussing the numerical. So the calculate equivalent single wheel load of a dual wheel load assembly carrying a 2044 kg each for a trial pavement thickness values of 150 mm, 200 mm and 250 mm. The center to center spacing between the two tires is equal to 270 mm and clear gap between wall of tires is equal to 110 mm. So basically this is the figure for a single axle. So this is the center to center spacing between two wheels denoted by S. Center to center spacing between two wheels, and this is the distance clear gap between two tires that is D. Earlier we was discussing about the in the starting of this lecture we are already discussed the theory about equivalent single wheel load assembly. So as per that theory, this is the twice of D. So as per that theory, this distance is D by 2 and this distance is twice of S. So in this numerical, the given data is wheel load assembly carrying is equal to P is equal to 2044 kg. That means that means load is directly given in the numerical. Then center to center spacing between two tires, that is S, 270 mm, that is also directly given. If it is not given, then we have to calculate. If the load is not given, then we have to calculate. We already discussed formulas for this. And and the third is a clear gap between tires, that is D, 110 mm. If it is not given, then we have to calculate it. So after that we have to plot the graph. For this we require a log graph. So we have to discuss basic of this graph first. So we have a load, we have a center to center spacing, then we have a clear gap between tire. So all the things are already given in the question, that means there is no necessity to calculate it. So the next step is to find the thickness, to find the pavement thickness for the values, that is 150 mm, 200 mm, 250 mm by using log graph. So for this we need two coordinate, that is coordinate A and coordinate B. So coordinate A is given load and D by 2. So load is 2044 and D by 2 that means 110, that is 55. Coordinate B, so 2 twice of 3, that means 2044 into 2, that is 4022, and twice of S, that is 270, that means 540. So we will discuss graph in blackboard, but after that we will plot actually in the log graph. So first we have to plot coordinate A and coordinate B. So the coordinate A is P and D by 2. So P is 2044. That means this is 1000, this is 2000, and this is 3000. So 2044, that means it around like this, and second point is D by 2, that is 55, that means here it is. So this is our so this is our coordinate A, and coordinate B is twice of P, that is 4088, that means this, and 2S, that is 540, that means it around like this. So we have to consider it 600 for the timing. So we have to plot. So this is our point B. We have to join it. So we have to find the pavement thickness for 150 mm. That means 150 mm. We have to just simply straight this line. 150 mm, then 200 mm. And 250 mm. So, and join.
So we conclude here our today's numerical, which is based on equivalent single wheel load assembly. Thank you.